So I'm replaying in my head what happened this week, and man, we always talk about it too. Everybody tries to go the cheap route as an investor, and it ends up biting them in the ass. And our entire week was miserable because what did we end up doing? Not on purpose. We on
Yeah,
our cabinets at our new office. We had our cabinet guy do them at cost, because miscommunication. Fucking Christ! They came in. They're off twice. He had to fix them.
they're still not
They're
done.
still not done.
And we had to stain them,
Had
so
to stain them
like
on
we
site. The
we
entire office building had to be evacuated because the entire office building stunk from
it was
the
bad.
stain and the lacquer. What a fucking shit show of a week.
I don't know. That wasn't. I guess maybe. Probably because
You weren't in the fucking
I
office.
didn't
You were
commit.
out in the field
I didn't
Monday
come in
through
on
Wednesday.
no on Tuesday. I didn't come in on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Which was the day that it smelled the worst. But when I left the office yesterday, it started to look
No, it's coming together. Cleaned it up and smells
really
gone.
good.
Hopefully we'll have a Christmas party there.
Definitely gonna have the Christmas party there, but we'll also have. I think we'll have appliances in today, and maybe
Did plumbing ever get done yesterday?
No, maybe some countertops. So
Getting ready for a Christmas party.
yeah, I was talking to some people last night at the mixer, and because I'm always trying to figure out how do other people's end of the year look like, right? They'll usually, if Christmas is like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's like everyone kind of fucks off. This year it's Saturday and Sunday. So like the only bank holiday is either going to be, it's most likely the bank holiday is going to be Monday.
Yo, my kids have 3 weeks off. I don't know how that worked out, but that's going to be fun.
Yeah, why 3?
I have no idea. It just worked out that way. They get off on like the 20th or something.
So that's the Monday before.
Yeah, and then they go back well after the first.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
I was talking to Dot. She was complaining about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm weird because I also think school should be year round. So,
You got to have those kids farming during the summer.
yeah, I don't think that's a thing anymore.
No. So you got to take off this Christmas. My ADD just keeps on going straight to this woman smiling at me.
Christmas jazz.
YouTube algorithm explained Christmas jazz. Yes, flute.
What do y'all think of this?
That's listen. You're talking about a merch marine who used to work fucking 8 months of Mondays. So this is ridiculous.
What? Can you give me backstory? I don't want to read that.
Yeah, so the UK did the largest trial of 4-day work week, I think, ever. Started working 80% of their, as 3,300 people across several different types of businesses in the UK started working 80% of their regular hours for 100% of their pay. Employees had to maintain the same level of productivity they had while working 5 days per week and assess the new schedule's impact on various aspects of their mental health. So the theory is that workers are only productive for about 3 to 4 hours of the day max anyway, and that the extra time off incentivizes productivity during those 4 days, and you get the same or better increased productivity. And so they're doing, they're trying to do studies on it to see if that works out. And, I think it depends on the business. Like we have to, for me, I have to be here when y'all are here and work around schedules.
Yeah, I was about to say,
if it's like a cubicle job or, like 80%
corporate America,
corporate,
or corporate that sort of show
they're
up.
just sitting at their desk watching Sicilian Brothers Weekly Grievances,
Yeah, yeah, they should be anyway. I do like just in my schedule. I try to do 4 days. I just find that one day not in the office around everybody gives me, keeps me.
You're still working that day though.
Right. No, I know. But that's like what he was saying. Like, we're not an office job. Like,
Yeah.
those people are different. So yeah, it's definitely job specific, right?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter though if you're a, you know, blue collar worker. You know,
No,
if
but me
you're a
going,
lumber lifter and you're
yeah,
gonna be out there
but
7 days a week. So
me not coming to the office 1 day a week does do something
did you
mentally for me.
see
Like,
the people at what was it, New York Times? They were protesting, and the biggest
Fuck the
gripe
New York
was,
Times.
what am I wrong on that? Was
No,
it?
I just said fuck the New
no,
York
no,
Times.
yeah, it was the New York
It,
Times.
it was,
Yeah,
but somebody, but they were all protesting because they were getting called back to work, and you know that they had to come in 5 days a week, and like it's irresponsible. There's a pandemic going on. I'm
Well, I
like,
know that happened with Twitter,
Jesus Christ.
but
Yeah, and what
Tony's
happened?
saying
Twitter's
about-
running better than ever. It's thinner.
that is not true. But
That is amazingly
All right,
true.
next topic.
There
Tony
are
said
no
what?
better. The servers are literally screaming. There's more user interaction, and they're at like 15% employee. So you just had
with that,
people
right,
just sitting there trimming the fat. Well, at that company, they probably would have wanted to go to a 4-day work week to make it easier. No, you just had to fucking lay off
Well,
three-quarters of the workforce
This is what
because they
Elon-
weren't doing shit.
This is what Elon does with his companies, right? He goes in, buys a company, never creates one. He'll buy one, he'll gut it, he'll
improve
he'll
it.
make half the workers do double the work, or a quarter of the workers do 4 times the
Yo,
work.
he makes workers work.
Yeah.
This is the issue. This is what I said when you started this. I was like, you're talking to a merchant marine where every day was Monday. You wake up, you go to fucking work.
Well, so
it's not that hard.
so-
You're getting
so
paid for it.
We can agree it did work with Tesla and SpaceX because those engineers
And Twitter.
Yeah.
those engineers care about their he set expectations with Twitter employees and said you can leave, right?
Yeah, he
And-
did it amazingly because
Right,
he
but
let
the
them
thing-
walk
the
out
thing
on
about
their
the Twitter
own.
employees is they're not invested in their labor like the people at Tesla and SpaceX who believe they're doing a good thing.
Well, I think
are.
that's
So Twitter coders can go and work for whoever they want.
I think the issue
If
that
you're in aerospace, you can't.
no,
unless
but
you
I think the
wanna make
issue the issue that if we're just going back and forth here, I think the issue that you're maybe missing or leaving out is that they were very righteous coders, and they felt
no, they're annoying as hell.
and they felt like they deserved, and it
Yeah,
was their
Nobody's
mission.
entitled to shit.
Right. It was their mission to make Twitter this thing, this social safe space. And
that's annoying to me.
but that's so
I'm
so-
not defending the Twitter
No, I know.
employees as much as I'm saying that we'll see the longevity of this
Yes.
plan let's see if he's making them work because if Elon's one thing, he's notorious for exploiting his workers. I mean, I'm not using that term lightly.
No, he demands work. Yeah, no, he fucking he uses guys. But he's also there with them. That's also different. Anybody else is like Bill Gates. If you want to compare him to another,
no, fuck that. Not
like,
even Bill
yo,
Gates. Amazon.
He's sitting there sleeping on the floor next to his workers.
Bezos,
right?
Like fucking,
yeah, or Bezos,
that
right?
dude's fucking Amazon like distribution centers, and
that's a good.
That's a
like,
good
that's
comparable.
that
that
he's
guy's
the
a
worst.
slave driver,
Yeah.
and he's out on yachts.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. He's a anyway.
so
But-
everybody just wants to hate on Elon
but
right
I do
now.
think-
But 2 years ago, he was
I do
everybody's
think
Elon's
savior.
a great
right?
salesman. I don't know what he's not an engineer. He's not he might be one of those people that like makes things happen. That's the argument. Right? A builder bringing the right people together, but
He's a visionary.
without the government tax credits he gets, Tesla, SpaceX would not be anywhere. He then sells those the excess credits to other companies. That is a business model, sure. That's with SpaceX. It's better than not having space exploration. Better than having NASA. Just take 20 years and.
Yeah, I mean the man's given internet to third world countries.
Yeah,
and,
literally, he's providing internet to Ukraine.
and
he dropped Starlink right over it, like the first week.
but there was one I saw this week. He had someone. There was a researcher in the Antarctic who like couldn't get signal, and he tweeted him back, and he's like, "SpaceX is there. You should just connect to it." And literally, all of a sudden, the kid posts a photo. He's like, yo, I'm connected to Starlink. Like, I got internet in the Antarctic. Like, it was something like that, right?
Yeah.
So,
But then he goes and creates tunnels for his Teslas
Yeah.
underground while scrapping like high-speed rail, which very inconsistent with him being a visionary.
I mean, but
so I think your issue with high speed rail, the argument.
The Boring Company, that's what really gets me going with Elon, because I can see arguments for the other ones.
Well, I think your issue with high speed rail, at least in the United States, is we have a problem with either being there is a problem with obviously a connection between private public relationships. So specifically the light rail that's trying to come to Texas.
yeah, they've been trying to build it forever.
It's a private company, and they're trying to force
Eminent domain.
eminent domain on landowners in Texas. And it's like, yo, you can't just like a private company can't just do that, right?
Yeah.
It has to be that's a government thing.
Yes.
This can get into Jerry World where they private did
it for the
they did it for the Cowboy Stadium,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the Hyperloop was being developed in California. It got scrapped. Like there were, I don't know how I feel about this, but they were having college students work on it and basically bid for it or do the work, but totally got scrapped in lieu of the Boring Company ideas.
like so tunneling for them.
I don't
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, basically making more roads now for cars underground instead of subways, which is.
I think there could be a combination of both, right? Because you can't put a fucking tunnel everywhere in the country, right?
It's proven that more lanes, which this is just more lanes underground for Teslas, does not improve traffic, does not improve any of the problems you try to solve with adding more lanes. That's just.
Well, we could all agree that there's an issue with too many people trying to provide solutions. You just create more problems. So I think that I've said for a while I've never ridden on one. When you were overseas, did you ever ride on a light rail?
No.
I
Closest thing is Disney World monorail.
and that's not
No.
that's not fast.
No.
But the idea of it, I think is really cool. The problem with the one going back to the one in Texas is, I was reading articles where, it would be 90 minutes from Dallas to Houston, whatever. But it was like the same, and it wasn't inexpensive. It was going to be $700 for that 90-minute trek, and so it was like that's not affordable, right? I can drive, and it's cheaper.
Yeah, and traffic's not that bad.
It cannot be more expensive than driving.
That's
crazy.
that's the problem, right? So you have a technology that is amazing, but what they should do is where they're laying new rail lines, which we're not really doing, they should lay the ones that can use the magnetic ride technology. But the I don't know why no one's engineered a fucking track that can do both.
Well, why would you want it to do both?
Well, because you can't run Magna Ride with the train cars that are loaded coal. Like they can't suspend the weight.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, they can't. And
I'm sure there's a way that they can get a
and then
electromagnet.
we
to do
already
that.
have
Look up the weight limit on electromagnets.
Using existing rail lines will allow the advancement of maglev technology for the purpose of carrying cargo more efficiently in greater quantities than would be possible with the current generation of freight trains. This advancement will also have a relatively low cost.
You would just need bigger magnets. That's all. And honestly, they're electromagnets. You just put more electricity through them.
magnets.
Yeah,
How do they work?
PFM.
I wanted to circle back around to the 4-day work week, and then Tony mentioned, I didn't get to this, but Tony mentioned the hybrid model, and I think, Nick, you were kind of talking about both, or saying that
I think it's
think the
bullshit
hybrid
because it
model.
only works for one select industry, like a white collar worker environment. And again, that's where I say fuck you. It's
Well,
bullshit.
yeah, but they're okay. So you
Very woke.
take city like city utility services
Yep.
people, right? Maybe again, maybe you load it to where their 4-day work week is not all the same, right? They just instead of them all being 5 days, they're all 4 days, but then distributed out. I mean, it could actually work. I mean, it's a better life, ideally for
The worker,
the
the
worker,
living man.
right? And maybe it would improve social, economic home life for
Yeah, other metrics that
Yeah.
aren't profit and
Maybe.
increased profit to shareholders. Under
One
our
would argue that yes, you worked as a merchant marine, stupid hours.
It's just
My thing is that you did get like the benefit of, hey, I'm gonna go to work for 6 weeks and I'm gonna take 6 weeks off and fucking sleep.
most of the time it was half. but
Like
yeah.
so that's, I mean, the equivalent, right? One would argue that you got like a lot of 6-week vacations.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying that what you did wasn't hard. It's just everyone can look.
Yeah. No. The grass,
Grass
is
is always
always
greener.
Yeah. No. I know that.
Uh,
And that's why I'm saying, like, it's just fucking work. Go to work 5 days. Fuck.
Well, it's an interesting conversation looking into the future because as more jobs get automated, not all jobs will get automated. I'm not Andrew Yang over here, but as more jobs have gotten more efficient, automated, instead of using the workforce we have and distributing the time and money as it is, we have this profit motive, so we decrease the workforce because we can use less workers, just like Elon can use less workers and work them harder instead of kind of working the same. And that's just how it is here.
I wonder
Does that
if
make sense?
yes, but I wonder if we have a habit of people get comfortable, right? So people get we see it a lot with investors. They get comfortable just doing the same LTVs, or they get in their box and then they only do deals in there. But like we all get to a certain level of comfort, and you're like, until you get checked on that level of comfort and how you're performing or not performing.
People
I-
get complacent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you-
that comfort
Yeah, for
breeds
sure. I
complacency, and that's
and
when-
then that
Well,
that builds
I
stagnant.
have another word for
you
that.
know.
I have a word for that. It's called alienation from your labor. When you don't see, like,
that's
me,
multiple words.
Okay, alienation. But for me, I love doing my job. I see the results. I'm hands-on from beginning to end. We're a small startup like mentality. We all are in it together. I'm not as alienated from my labor as that cubicle worker who is grinding away, making profits for his boss. Maybe not the direct boss, but the manager acts on behest of the boss or the shareholders, and they don't, first of all, see that profit, but also it's like, for lack of a better term, like kind of mindless, or you're alienated from both the profit you're generating because you're generating it for someone else, and the product that you're creating or providing.
Yes,
Especially if you can't even afford that product, which a lot of people like.
But-
Henry Ford, who was a fascist and horrible,
Hey, now.
anti-Semite, but even he
careful.
I
I love Henry Ford.
did the 4-day or not 4-day. He advocated for labor regulations for less time for the workers, so they could go out and spend money in the economy and have time to spend that money.
Yeah, I think overall everyone's talking about balance, right? And the issue, the capitalist side of my brain says you have every avenue at your disposal to pick your career, do something different, go back to school, don't go to school, right? Like set yourself free,
Mhm.
right? That's
you,
your choice.
you can make or break yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the people that feel, oh, I'm trapped at this 9 to 5, you're not. You're trapped in your brain's box of the 9 to 5, right? And we do talk about that people.
I agree with that, but that 9 to 5 will still exist. That janitorial job still exists.
Of course,
Yeah, absolutely.
but that always it's gonna
So
be that way.
someone's going to be in that job.
Yeah,
So.
but
Yeah, but
because
that's not a
need,
negative thing. I know.
right? There's a need for that.
Yeah,
No, I'm
there-
not saying it's negative or there's not a need for it, but if we accept that there has to be people working these jobs, then why not let them be less alienated from their labor, at least in the ways of making decisions in terms of that job. This goes deep into like how businesses should be structured and whatnot, but at the very least, make their working conditions better.
I think
If we agree there has to be someone in that job, why does the idea have to be, oh, they should strive to do something else? No, do that job.
Yeah.
you're-
yeah, no. So do that job, right? So my cousin.
they should be, compensated and provided benefits and a say to where they can do that job with comfortably.
I think that all of that on the surface is amazing. We were talking about Bezos, and like just how you almost feel like he's just greed, right? There's just
yeah,
no.
but at the same point, he did his thing.
Yeah, he did it,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not saying he didn't earn it. And does he own all of those employees to where he doesn't treat them well? I don't know. I've never worked in a sorting facility. I hear pros and cons. I hear that they're a good company to work for. I hear that they're a bad company to work for.
Yeah. Same.
And then like so, but you're also dealing with they are the largest, I believe, supplier, like or what's the word?
Distributor.
Yeah, like distribution partner in the world, right?
I would be shocked if they're not. I mean, I'm sure
They gotta
Walmart
be.
was up there.
Well,
but-
so Walmart's got them in sales, but I have a feeling that Amazon's the bigger
distribution.
distribution,
Once
right?
they pretty much created their own FedEx in a
Yeah.
sense, right? Like
Yeah.
Amazon used to go all through, UPS, FedEx. Like
the
now it's just
it's straight
their
for the
own-
most part
yeah,
them
their own
yes.
box,
And,
trucks and such.
If you around DFW, you start to see the have you seen the electric box?
No, I haven't
that
seen
they-
those yet.
There's they look so weird, but they're cool. Like
It's a big bulbous
it's
front, right?
yeah, like it's weird. It's got like a face, like it has like the Amazon smile face.
check mark?
It's weird. It's but so he
You said
did
it's an electric box?
yeah they're
Like the van? Or
they're running some of their vehicles are running electric, like so not electric box, like their vehicles are like the delivery trucks are
I've seen plenty of
yeah.
those.
So they're electric vans running around town. So yeah, trying to reduce gas and emissions and all that shit. But so there is like a level of like, hey, they're providing jobs.
I don't knock them.
No, I don't knock any company that's providing jobs.
No, I
Um,
mean, listen, if they're fucking doing something wrong, then there should be investigated.
There
and
are- there are
fixed, right?
some-
Like,
there
don't
are
get me wrong.
some-
I'm totally for doing the right thing and treating people correctly, right? And like safe work environment. I'm all for that.
yeah, healthy.
Yeah,
Right. Like healthy,
treating
clean
people right,
standards. Like I'm not like
feeding them right,
looking
all
for
of that.
child labor. Right. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll
But if you're
put
gonna
your
go work
fucking
at
kids to work.
7-Eleven,
yeah.
don't be fucking expecting the world, right?
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
Well, and or use that as your platform to get, hey, I was at 7-Eleven for, a year because I'm 18, 19. Use that as your entrance to Buc-ee's.
Mhm.
Like Buc-ee's is they're like rated one of the best companies to work for, not just because of pay, but because of the way they treat their employees and the benefits and like happiness,
Yeah.
right? So again, you can use your 7-Eleven job to go. There's plenty of stories of 7-Eleven specifically where employees have turned into franchisee owners,
Yeah.
So you can level up your life if you want to keep going.
And the problem is some people don't, right?
Mhm.
Like people just want to fucking bitch and complain and want somebody else to solve their issues for them, and that's fine. People
That's why
fucking,
we have therapists.
yeah, that's why we have fucking
Well,
Democrats.
this isn't a direct response to that, but I find it a curious dichotomy that I advocate for individualism just as much as I would say y'all would, but we have this idea of bootstrap mentality, or this idea of small business and go get it, do it yourself, be the next Amazon. But what companies like Amazon, Walmart do is inherently they come in and they buy stuff for way cheaper than you can and then sell it. So if you, like, I lived in Madrid, right? On my street, there was a paper shop. There was there were small business, family, little boutique shops, right? Clothing, this and that, which I guess gets to the core of monopolies coming to power under the way we have our economy structured, which is inherently antithetical to, yeah, sure, you can be a franchisee, but you cannot compete with the 7-Eleven as, it just is the way it is. And
Yeah, I think that's been compounded more so. I won't say the word in the last 2 years. That sort of grab has boomed.
the cold.
That
Hey, the flu's back.
that happened massively and really hurt.
There was a big shift.
yeah, and
absolutely.
really hurt. Small shops.
But on the converse of that, we see, like, Corey just made a video about the Twitter layoffs. We're talking about it. We see people complaining about these people who are entitled, and the Twitter coders are super privileged, but when you talk about people who aren't working, the help wanted signs in the doors,
Oh, yeah.
this and that, I just think what happened was during the 2 years you're at home, you think about your labor, you think about what's important to you, your family, your time, and there is a resurgence of people starting their own businesses, and that's awesome.
It's incredible. I think you used the word Congress. Is that the opposite? Is that what?
Converse.
Oh, I heard Congress. Sorry.
Congress is like in the government.
Yeah, no, I know what Congress is. But on the flip side of that is also the people who over the last 2 years got those stimmy checks and got comfortable collecting those stimmy checks and don't want to go back to work, right? So I think you're just dealing with overall human good and bad.
Listen, we buy houses, we go into them, right? What does every house have that we buy? Shit ton of junk.
Yeah.
Shit ton of stuff that they're spending money on, right? They all have a couch that's
Six
cleaned off that they
lawnmowers.
just sit there, a giant TV that they watch. So
Yeah, the TV is worth more than
my issue is these people, and these people is a very fucking broad term to anybody. But it's they get a mentality that they can't get out of it, right? When they just go home and they literally they don't do anything to better themselves. On the weekends, they're not bettering themselves. This way, they can change their Monday through Friday. Right?
there was a meme I saw this week that's relevant to what you just said. It was don't cancel Netflix because it'll save you $15. Cancel Netflix because it'll give you 15 hours to learn something new.
Yeah, like it's not hard. Go to YouTube University,
Yeah.
right? Like I say this all the time. People sit on their shit at night and just watch, Instagram and everything, and then
Hey.
they never are doing it in a way to get
I think
better.
that's
And like,
by design of the very system.
no, it is.
Of course
And don't
it
get me
is.
wrong. They're just
Yeah.
stuck in the cog, right?
Mhm.
They literally are. They're programmed, and they're just angry that somebody else isn't fixing the issue.
For the record.
And the problem always comes back to you.
Yeah.
It is your decision whether or not you want to be successful or you want to fail.
Well-
100%. There is life that is going to get in your way, but you have to keep going and keep pushing through life. It's that simple.
So we talk-
Otherwise, you just give up and roll over and fucking die. Like,
we talk about you could edit some of our original, like you could throw in like my old from like 2 years ago when I first started, and then your 2 year ago when you first started doing this podcast, heads like right in here, and I feel like you'll see this massive change in our bodies, right? Like we've we've over the last couple of years made a change to better our health, to better our appearance, right? Just all around.
Trying to lose weight, just doing better.
Well, just be healthy.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It is our choice to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I say that as we just ate a box of fucking munchkins. But
Cocaine and the booze together.
Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
man, it's anyway. Sorry. Oh, we'll go. That's the road I was going down. It was technically speaking, I've been sober for 3.5 years, and so I'll say it like this: it wasn't necessarily my decision to get sober, but it was my decision to stay sober, right?
Yeah.
And people ask me all the time, like, how do you? Last night, for instance, the mixer, like,
Yeah, we do open bars
right,
at
like
every one of
everywhere.
our events.
Yeah, and everyone always asks me how. Like, how the fuck do you stay sober? And I just, it was a decision in my brain that I made, and I'm a stubborn son of a bitch, and I just am. I'm not gonna go.
Some things in life are ones and zeros. It's that simple. It's a on off,
Yeah.
right?
Black
you
and white.
You have to. Some situations you have to make a yes or a no and bowl through it, right?
Ryan, because I was up here yesterday a little bit early. I didn't want to sit in traffic getting over here, and there was a whirlwind of like phone calls and things going, and Ryan's like, "You want a drink?" And I was like, "Today would be the day." Like, and I was like, "But no, it wouldn't make anything better." So again, even yesterday when it's a rough day and you're like, "Fuck, man, I want to," but my choice was to just power through it, to use my mental capacity, strength, to like just keep going forward.
That's
And
amazing, Tony. I commend. That's
I-
incredible.
I say it every day when I wake up, Damon and Logan.
Thank you.
I wake them up, and every day I'm like, all right, come on, guys, just sit up. All right, time to get up. And I leave them for 5 minutes, let them wake up slowly, pet their hair. And then I always say, all right, come on, get up. Getting up's the hardest part of the day. It's all downhill from there. And it's true. And I'm trying to instill that in the boys young, right? But it literally is. Once you get the fuck out of bed and just go to work, everything's downhill from there. Just face it, right? And I know people avoid shit all the time. Oh, I got this person I got to deal with. Oh, I got this file coming up. Oh, I got this fucking engine that's blown. Just go. It's not going away.
no,
The problem's not going to go away. You have to face it. So just face it. And afterwards, you'll fucking be so much better.
there were plenty of times in my life where I couldn't get out of bed.
It's
And,
fucking tough.
there were a few times in my life where I tried to get sober. And I remember talking to Matt, my best friend Matt. And he's like, "Look, man, like in the very few days of trying to like get sober many years ago, he's like, dude, break everything down into like, start small. What am I going to do in the next 5 minutes?
Mhm.
I'm going to get up. All right, I got out of bed. Check. All right, make the bed. Like I neaten the bed, right? Make the bed,
Routine.
right? And then the next thing, all right, let me go brush my teeth and take a shower, right? Maybe then, right? So like, all right, and then you just grow to, all right, 5-minute spans. Now I can think about 10-minute spans, or now I can think about 20-minute spans. And investors ask me all the time, like, man, how younger investors specifically ask, how did you get started? And it was like, just break it into, like, they're wondering, how do I get to the Lambo? You don't wake up and then get to the Lambo. What's our joke in like our group chat? It's like 1, 2, 3, the steps.
Oh, that's the South Park. Step 1, whatever the fuck we're doing. The profit one, right? Step 1, step 2, profit. Step 3.
But yeah, it doesn't work like that, right?
It's the Christmas gnomes from South Park.
You have to
Underpants gnomes.
You have to,
Right there.
yeah.
Phase 1, collect underpants. Phase 2, phase 3 is profit. Ready fire, aim.
And I think people don't know how to walk before they run and all that stuff. So it is challenging, and we are way too connected with media, social media, right? Like it's up to you to take the noise out of it.
Yeah, you have to
And
delete that shit, right? If that's what it needs, if that's what it takes, right? If you are so uh, plugged in, right? If you have to delete it and walk away, see what happens to your life.
most people don't realize that is the addiction.
No, and they don't. They just blame other things.
That
And
is-
that's
that is
my
the
issue.
addiction.
Is I'm like,
That's the addiction. That's the thing that's holding them back from getting to whatever the next level is in their life. And I'm like, I was raised, we were raised, sorry, to work, and never so I never looked down on anyone that did something I wouldn't do. So it's not like I'm not gonna. There are plenty of jobs I will not do, but I'm not going to be like, oh, that guy's just a plumber. Like,
Yeah.
Look down. Like, I don't know, because I'm not going to, I respect that person, because there ain't no way in hell I'm doing that,
it sucks.
or the landscaper, right? Like I believe, hey, that's what they're doing. That's how they're earning their, like, thank you. Right. It's instead of being, I'm not going to use the word greedy, but like, I'm grateful for those people's services,
Yeah.
Just because I won't do it doesn't mean that they're less than me or something like that. That's, I don't have that gene.
Yo, nothing. You know what I love? My favorite people. Oh, this is gonna sound so fucked up. My favorite people are cleaning ladies.
Yeah.
Cleaning ladies that have their own business, right? Like you always find them. Lucia says in Ecuador, every cleaning lady is called Maria. Everybody in Ecuador, if you're a cleaning lady, they're all Maria.
So far, all the people that we've met from Ecuador are named Maria.
Or Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that type of person that is just like, what are my skills? Oh, I'm very detail oriented. I can clean. Okay. And they go out there and they'll find themselves 5 houses and they're cleaning for $150. They just put, $4,000 in their monthly budget,
Yeah.
right? Like they went out and they did it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then a lot of times that's just referral based and they get 10 houses overnight, right? Like
There definitely is an ability to be whatever you want to be, whether that's in a corporate world or in your freedom to create real estate investing world. There is plenty of unfortunate circumstances that riddle people at various levels and stages of their life, whether it's addictions or
mental health.
There's just a lot, right? And when you try to fix it all with the stroke of a pen, that doesn't work. It takes boots on the ground, these discussions, one-on-one, small changes. Again, we're not going to solve the problems overnight. We need to solve them in small steps, just like I did for myself, just like, plenty of people I
and
talk
it's
to.
not a bootstrap story. It's not like, oh, just pull your, that's it. No, it's, listen, you have to recognize and you
But
have
to
to
each their own.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like,
If your issues are mental health or addiction, right, you're gonna eventually have to have a tough conversation with yourself, right?
I have a friend that
And seek help and get like that, or the option is keep going down the path you got and die.
I have a friend that I've tried 15 years, hundreds of different times or ways to help him get out of the cycle he's in.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing I have done has ever lasted to help him. And then I realized recently, in the last couple of years, that all my helping ever did was enable him to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I still get messages randomly, and I can't. So there is that hurts me that I had to stop, but at the same point, like, I just had to. It's just
What's the Bones and All. What's the actor? Timothy.
Yeah, Chalamet.
Yeah. What's the one where he's the drug addict kid and
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
Carell
It's like
is the
Beautiful
dad?
Boy.
Beautiful
that
Boy.
fucking movie is
I
so
read
hard.
Nick Sheff's book called Tweak. So
Oh, yeah?
his
Is
dad
that what
was
it was
David
based-
Sheff.
That-
He wrote a book called Beautiful Boy, but Nick wrote Tweak, and it's autobiographical. And I read that in like 9th grade or 10th grade, and man,
Yeah.
The movie was.
I need to watch it.
No, but that's what it's like. It's even literally a father couldn't help his own son. It comes down to the son, right? That person has to make that decision.
Yeah.
There's no, unless you're gonna tie somebody down to a bed for the rest of their lives, because even once they get clean, they're gonna go right back, right? That mentality hasn't, that the psychological portion you haven't broken. So unless they're gonna change themselves.
Yeah, they have to make. They have to. That switch has to get thrown in their circuit breaker, and some people can't. Some people can. I get it. I understand.
So I agree with all that, especially in terms of addiction. I think when we were talking, Tony, you said a while ago that it comes down to good and bad, or we're talking about this undercurrent of people being lazy. And when I think about the economy and when I look at the data about workers and the economy, I come to the conclusion that instead of good and bad, it's more about people's response to their material conditions that they're either born into or get into because of whatever factors, internal, external, and people being lazy in the job market comes down to them doing a calculation of cost benefit of working in that position. Because yes, do it yourself, cleaning ladies. Also, do you tip cleaning ladies? I was wondering that. Mm-hmm. Okay, but
We're New Yorkers. We tip everybody.
The only I'm so guilty of this. I'm gonna make it. The only people. It's that meme that came out the other day about.
You know who I don't tip are the people that fucking do nothing, but then like flip the register around.
That's what I was just gonna go.
Is that yeah?
The iPad. So when there's a joke right now where like anytime I go to a store and I see an iPad at the register, I know I'm about to tip for something I've never tipped for before.
Yeah,
it's definitely.
I never even thought about it until Margo or Ryan said, because there's this coffee shop down the street that I go to.
Coffee
like,
shops are
once a week,
notorious.
right?
Yeah,
That's the coffee
I'm
shop.
sorry, no.
And they're like, "Did you ever tip at Starbucks or tip at?" And I didn't even think about it because they put out this iPad, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, $1." I'll never do I'll do what I think it's normally $1 or $2. But
to me, I left the change. And McDonald's leave the change in the bin for the
they don't even
McDonald's.
have those a lot of places now.
Yeah, so
I just say keep it and I walk away.
I don't like change, right? I got change this morning, threw it in my center console, and I was like, ugh, it's gonna rattle around in there forever. That shit's never coming out.
Yeah,
But
you
yeah,
never have it when you need it. The one time
Yes.
a year when you need it at like.
You've never been to Europe, have you?
No.
Their money is change.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you go to the bar and you're like, I will take a pint. It's 7 of these, 2 of the. It's literally fucking Harry Potter. I have
Weird.
2 nuts
Before I
and
moved there, I bought a wallet that has a zipper.
yeah. You need
So
a
a
little
purse.
perch. Yeah, you need a purse. They have
Weird.
they're euro to all of them. They're coins. And then they also have cash, but
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
and the
the
cash is
€1.
like big fat rectangles. It's fucking stupid.
It's very ugly.
Got some dead broad on it.
Lizzie.
McGuire?
Oh, I wish. We
the,
should put Lizzie McGuire on all the currency.
I
That would fix all these problems we're talking about.
no. People would because maybe people would save the money because then they want to see her all the time,
No,
or
people
would they
need to spend money, but
give it away because they can't stand
I
seeing
didn't
her
think
face.
that.
So which one?
it wouldn't be the second because we love Lizzie McGuire.
This goes back to.
Can we talk about real estate?
Well, we hold on. We have like a long way around. I'm trying to circle back to real estate, but we got on this tangent because we asked him to pull up our comments on some of our videos
yeah.
that he has yet to do. But I will say the common thing that we just I feel like talked about was the passion and desire and mental fortitude to be something else, right? To be a real estate investor, to go work at a title company, to go work at a survey company, right? Like to go, we have a roofing division, and like talking to the people that we're trying to convince to go door knock and stuff, right? Some of them are like, you expect me to do what? And then you have like the new kid that like he's like all gung ho
Yeah.
about it, right? So I think it just comes back to, if you really, really, really want it, and you network right, and you try, you can absolutely achieve it. And I just think you have to get out of your own way.
I tell everybody that comes to our office, like everybody, like you're joining our team, right? I'm going to give you every tool in our arsenal to make you successful. But it's up to you to be successful, right?
Yeah.
I will push you. I will motivate you. We'll show you. We'll bring you in. We'll train you. We'll teach you. If you're having issues, we're gonna find out what your issues are and like step through them. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to make it or break it. It's on you, right?
How many? What did we not? We just gave 2 cars
Mm-hmm.
to 2 people just so that they could work for us.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think.
Like we're literally just trying to give people the keys
Enable.
to success.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
y'all hiring?
No, we don't pay. No, I think that's and they're gracious.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are. I want to say indebted. That's not the word. But they're just, they feel
Yeah.
very
Appreciative.
and grateful for the opportunity, right? Not just the vehicle that they're using, is like the opportunity to use that vehicle to then better their life is what they're.
We got called out by an ASMR channel.
That's amazing. Le Buckwheat Dylan. Le Buckwheat Dylan.
Le Buckwheat Dylan.
The video doesn't explain anything.
Let's see what the video is. Hold on.
Let's watch it, Sohail.
Never sell to the highest bidder, because
This
call
is
me
our
an idiot if
emotion.
you want. I don't fucking care. But I never sell to the highest bidder. I sell to the best bidder, because
If the highest so happens to be the first offer, hey, you won it. But
Right.
we always take the first offer a lot of times. 'Cause
Yeah,
we say
and
that's the most
emotionally committed.
yeah.
on the retail side of our stuff, yes. And I never go.
So it says the video doesn't explain anything. LOL. But what I think they mean is the highest bidder doesn't always work out and may make more trouble for them in the long run, while the person who bids right away is already. Oh, you fucked me up.
Sorry. Already invested.
It's already invested
into wanting
wanting the product, more likely gonna go through and work out. Yeah,
That's exactly
what we said.
what we said.
Yeah.
That was 2 days ago, 7 days ago.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, ASMR guy.
no, buckwheat.
Fucking buckwheat.
Buckwheat Dylan. I appreciate your clearing that up for us. That was exactly what.
See, more context. Maybe we gotta.
What?
That's just bollocks. Yo, I love that we got somebody that said bollocks.
Schnitzel.
Fucking schnitzel.
We should
Can you thumb up all of those comments, please?
or reply back and say
Fucking schnitzel.
certain things like I just don't.
More context. See above.
That's just bollocks. It's not bollocks. And we're seeing it right now. We had that house on Hasty. The highest offer was when we looked through the first few contracts that came through, there was one higher, but then there were other caveats to the contract that made it less
desirable.
well, like it was a riskier transaction to enter into than the other two, right? So
What are some examples? More context.
yeah, more context. The longer option period, wanted
Appraisal waivers.
well, or wanted I mean, there's a
of-
bunch of things.
Yeah.
They wanted, so longer option period, more inspections. They wanted seller concessions. They wanted us to pay, right? So it on at face value, the number beat other numbers, but then we're smart enough to like dive into the next 9 pages and make sure that it's the right contract to enter into. So as we did our due diligence, if you want context, it was smarter for us to not take the highest offer. Didn't you say someone was yelling at us about another video?
I thought it was. No, that was the video. That's the comments I saw. But
I'm surprised that we haven't pissed more people
Wow,
off.
so brave.
thumbs that up.
What were we brave about?
I have no fucking clue.
Pushing into it.
Oh.
And then again, find out how you could have bought the deal better to make that investor
I
the
remember
right
that.
return. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I
don't
think
put
I was
emotion
talking
into
to-
it. One of the things that I love to do is
The
when
chick.
one of my investors
I don't
tells
know.
me
Dina,
no,
Jen-
Yeah,
I
V-
ask them
V-
why.
yeah.
So many on a daily basis, we talk to people and they're always like, they get angry. They
She
put
was
emotion into it.
speaking
And
at Sean Jackson's summit
Hmm.
last week.
She's an impressive lady.
John Jackson. Jesus, Sean.
There's a difference between being bisexual and pedophilia.
Yeah.
Although, what's the new term?
I don't know.
Like-
Either way, it's wrong.
No, but that's what they're that
What are the
lady got
comments on
fired
this
for. Oh
one
man,
video?
wait,
El
there's
Paso?
comments on
It
this.
says 7 comments,
she
but there's
told
only
her
2.
class
I don't know why
it's
it does.
wrong. Someone fact checked me on this. That it's wrong to
Oh.
call them pedophiles. They are
Oh, no.
attracted to youth.
man.
It was like this is gonna be
All right, let's not talk about pedophilia on
No,
the
no, no,
fucking
hold on.
channel.
Yeah.
no wait.
This-
What does it say?
Being bisexual and being a pedophile are the same thing at all.
I just said that.
Yeah. Open pedophilia is the next goal of the left. You think, what the fuck?
No, keep reading because
You think that's crazy and will never happen, but the forces of darkness never stop.
love
25 years ago, did you ever think two men could be legally married, that men could put on a wig and compete in women's sport? I don't want to read this. Or that you could be arrested for opposing males exposing themselves in your daughter's locker room because they identify as female?
This sounds so natural coming out of Sohail's mouth.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, I listen to people like this
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
fun all day.
and there is a lot in there, and we're not going to talk about it. But
a piss poor attempt
That
to
person's
clean it up,
opinion-
whatever
that
they
person's
are
opinion
called, they're
is valid
always a
to
piece
them.
of shit okay.
So
I don't even want to
D
know.
Porter, you're very valid. Yeah, piss poor attempt to clean it up. I think the changing it to minor attracted person, that's not a thing.
It-
I mean, it is a thing, but
it shouldn't be a
It's
thing.
not a thing like
Yeah.
like they used to tout like 3 years ago on Twitter and stuff. It's literally like homophobia, transphobia. They used to say gay guys were pedophiles. Now they say trans people are pedophiles. It's
Which-
and it's saying that
Which-
minor attracted people pedophiles want to be included in LGBTQ.
yeah, no,
that's not,
that's not okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not okay. And I think
There's no P in that fucking that acronym.
no, and we're not adding it.
No,
either.
no, no.
Yeah. I think again,
I'm done reading comments.
again, it's noise, right?
Yeah, I don't fucking. People literally. Read,
No, wait. Well, we didn't disagree with any of them.
I don't
None of
give a
them
fuck.
were pro pedophilia.
No. I
Oh.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Well, speaking of pedophilia, there was a it's a relative story this week. There was a
Oh, the FedEx driver or whatever that is.
No,
the UPS
the,
one.
the teacher or dean or
Oh, the
principal.
Project Veritas.
Yeah,
video.
yeah, the Project
yeah.
Veritas video.
The
And the guy's
sweet mustache.
he's they took his the school
Yeah,
took their like account down.
good.
But yeah, he basically got caught talking about how much he enjoys
Giving out sex toys to his students.
and letting them play with them and all this stuff, and I'm like, that's not okay.
I thought you were talking about the FedEx driver that
No,
or whatever that Amazon driver whatever that was.
and of course it's in Chicago.
It
What's
was-
that?
I don't-
What's the drivers?
Yeah.
I haven't heard
So there was. I'm saying FedEx, but it could be any delivery driver. There it is. fucking delivery
Oh.
driver.
Oh,
Jesus
he had abducted and killed the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was big Amber Alert.
Yep.
And then it came out that it was a delivery driver.
Yep. So fucked up.
That,
That hang him.
Again,
Wait, so did he hit her with the van and
No,
then
no,
she
no,
was
no,
like
no, no, no.
dying and he killed her?
no. He like abducted her from the house, and then they later found her body.
Oh, in Texas.
Yeah, no, it was right here in DFW.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What a scum. I'd not put.
Well, that brings
Well,
up,
that brings us to the end, and right before Christmas, and American.
no, that brings up it brings up another segue to there's I'm not going to get the number right. But there is a staggering number of like just child abductions and like child trafficking.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers. I know child trafficking is a big thing. I
it's-
know any people
Yeah,
trafficking.
human
is-
trafficking.
Yeah,
is a
human
big thing,
trafficking
but-
right now
but,
is huge.
But the
I've seen so many videos, even here, of like people abducting in the Chili's parking
Yeah.
lot in,
Yeah.
in Plano. Like,
Yeah. No, I know. And I always like we were at the mall with the boys, right? So before you and Lucia got there, Mom and I were walking around with them, and I'm just like letting them. This is seriously 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was just we're on the top floor where it's all carpeted and just letting them do their thing, and like Mom is very nervous and like, where are they? And I'm like, I got them. They're fine. They're not going anywhere. Like, no one's gonna take them. And then just in the last 2 weeks, like I've heard, and I'm like, oh fuck, I was an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, I bet it should have been watching them way more than I was. Like I instantly got like mad at myself because I was pretty,
laissez-faire.
like lax about
Mhm.
keeping. But I knew they were like right in front of
yeah.
me or high, like, but watching some of these, because everything nobody realized, like everything is on camera.
Yeah.
Right, like.
You say that, but at the same
I
time,
just was about to say
everything is not on camera.
I know.
Right? Like it's a false premise. Everything's on camera until you need to get that
Yeah.
footage, and it's fucking impossible.
Yeah, and
Should-
then
it's happened
let's
to
put
me.
up those cameras everywhere.
It's happened to me
Send it
countless times.
Yeah, it's
We tried
Certain-
looking up those numbers.
certain cell blocks.
What numbers?
Cameras,
Sorry, go ahead, tell
security cameras go out at certain cell blocks, and body cam footage disappears in California.
Epstein yourself. I think we were talking about this with Corey or Jess, one of the two, and they were going on about how we were kids. We would go.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
everywhere.
have to be back by when the street lights come on, or
Well,
whatever, by dinner.
The Stranger Things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stranger Things, like I feel like our generation like connects with it because the kids are really free to like ride their bikes. They go to like they
That's what the 80s was.
Right?
80s and 90s.
and now
Even when I was a kid, I'd go to the field, like same thing. I mean,
yeah. Sandlot. Right? Like the movie The Sandlot.
I was just gonna say some fucked up shit to him.
The Sandlot was
I
literally.
want to hear it.
You said you were going to the field. I was like, you going to the field to burn the books? So, I think that's why like Stranger Things, we connect with it, or whatever the other word is, but we connect with it because it was how we we grew up. But like, you can't really let.
I don't know. I think you still can. I got fucking chastised horribly
Yeah.
by Mom, by good old Dot, because I let Damon jog around the block.
See,
Well,
that's the question. I think data is so hard to interpret for this because I don't know if it's
Well,
more reported or less
That
reported.
that's the
all
whole
that.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And
don't. I
was
think it's
it worse
there's
back
just more
then? Or,
more
I mean,
awareness
was it
on it.
better back then? Is it worse now?
Louis C.K. has one of the best bits ever, and it's growing up we had a we all knew him down there. He was a French guy, Le Jacques the we all knew him, and you just knew to run faster than him, right, and stay away from him.
We had creepy houses that we
Yeah,
avoided.
but it was it was the same thing as like autism, right? People are like, why is that through the roof? And well, everything. I'm pretty sure I should have been fucking autistic growing up, right? Like,
Absolutely.
But there was no testing for it. There was nobody talked about it. It was so taboo, right?
No, yeah,
like everybody just got
we just
home
got
and
the
just,
shit kicked out
yeah,
of us.
right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no, if your kid
normal.
wasn't ADD, he was just hyper fucking. You beat the shit out of him, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Until he stopped crying.
yeah.
Well,
So.
arguably, hopefully, he didn't pass out.
So again, right? Like our numbers up. Yeah, I probably blame McDonald's, but I don't know, right? Or is it
For
just more
autism?
reporting? Yeah, food chemicals. I'm convinced.
Yeah,
are
That's
huge.
what they say, but
Well-
the underreporting thing.
Yeah, why do you
or-
think little girls got big breasts? Fucking at like 8.
Okay.
It's fucking insane. McDonald's,
McDonald's are just hormones.
the hormones in the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely food's fucking with your hormones.
Oh yeah, I can't believe I just said that after the fucking we went over the
Yes,
thing.
that's what.
Jesus Christ, I set myself up for a fucking bit.
Anyway, yeah, I think again, everyone's has a choice. To the FedEx driver,
Yeah,
he's on his route. Arguably the same. Arguably, it's the same route. He's been to this house before. I mean, FedEx drivers, they
Yeah.
run routes, so they mail in,
Yeah.
right? How long did he think about it?
no idea.
Was it just a snap decision, right? What's going through his head when, so he had the choice not to be that fucking fucked up, but he chose to be that fucked up.
Yeah, he's probably gonna say that he's a woman now and go to a female jail.
Okay.
It happens.
But yeah, I mean, as sick as that is, that guy has a choice, and he made the wrong. Well, maybe he made the right one. I don't know. Someone told me a story about a shooting in New Zealand a few years ago that was streamed for 15 minutes live
In
on.
New Zealand?
Yeah, and it was like somebody goes in.
Oh yeah.
Somebody goes into some building and shoots 40 some odd people live, and it was streamed Twitch. Isn't that like a live streaming platform? And killed a bunch of people, and like it was live on Twitch.
Yeah, it was the Christchurch shooting. The
I mean,
mosque.
I have no idea.
Christchurch.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean that he, and supposedly after he left the building, he made a comment on the video of like, I should have stayed longer and shot more. And it was like, yeah, that person's pretty deranged, you know? In my mind, there should be someone connected to that individual somewhere in their life where some of these things should be identified.
Yeah, and a lot of times they are.
Yeah.
You want to go down that rabbit hole
What, of identifying like,
of most of these people being FBI plants?
oh,
Yep.
Huh?
yeah.
I was about to say.
Let's
No.
go. They're fucking
No,
being schooled and
No.
they've been found by the CIA. And
That's true.
hey, did you know FBI was working at Twitter?
Yes.
Holy shit!
You mean we didn't really have an insurrection?
Oh
Yeah.
man, dude.
No,
that,
I-
everything coming out from that, I'm so excited.
Tony,
like just
where,
reading.
Where were you? Never mind.
We actually, I don't know that anyone knows this. We actually discussed, me and you discussed about going to his rally on
Oh
J6.
yeah. I was like, yo, let's go.
We were going to
For
go to,
content.
we were
no,
going to go.
I was just gonna go and
yeah. Like I was like, yeah, no, like just, I mean,
Lucia said no.
I've marched for the abortion right, like the other way, not abortion rights,
Pro-life.
pro-life. I've done that.
No.
Yeah, pro-life.
Pro-choice. Pro-choice.
Fuck you. I did the pro-life marches.
Oh, for abortion. Against abortion.
Yes.
Okay.
When I was younger. And so I've marched through Washington. Like I've been a part of certain things. And
Wait, I'm confused. You marched. You were against pro-lifers, or you marched?
Pro-life. He was pro-life.
I was
Okay.
pro-life.
All right.
And I was young and I was with my church group and we marched on Washington for, so in my mind, it wasn't anything.
It wasn't insurrection. It was
No, yeah,
it was a protest.
it was just like, it was a march.
That's what it
right?
was.
I mean,
They left the doors open.
and they didn't burn the building down.
Yeah, and they marched in. The only
And
person
they-
that got shot and killed was one of them.
And they didn't loot anything.
Yeah, no, they won't even release the videos. It's
No.
weird.
Yeah.
But thank God Twitter was there.
This is 16,000
I don't know.
hours or 160,000 minutes or something like that.
Video?
A video.
Yeah.
But no, I again, cycling back around.
We haven't talked about real estate once. That's the best.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
we,
sorry if that went off the rails.
no, we've. Well,
I think this is
and
really
it's
good.
because we started talking about railroads.
That's literally.
So you totally railroaded this entire segment.
Oh yeah. Hey, y'all wanted it.
Brutally honest, railroaded.
Ramming in Ramrod. I think getting back to the beginning of the 4-hour work week thing, if that's your jam and you can make your life successful and productive on 4 hours, great. Or no, 4-day work week, not 4 hours.
4 hours, great.
4 hours is the book,
No,
right? Isn't it like a 4-hour work week? Isn't it like
4
the
hour
book?
power hour.
I think 4 day.
No, it's
4 hour work week.
I don't know. Google it. You got the computer. There's a book.
That the reason I brought that up is actually because
7-minute ads.
someone said that school should be year round. I think you, Tony.
I did. Yeah.
And I know a lot of school districts do 4-day school weeks
Where?
in I think Oklahoma and Texas. You don't know this?
No.
Yeah. So that's what reminded me.
I
But
think
it's
that the
interesting.
reason.
But I mean, they're doing it because of funding issues, also. But,
Well, I think the reason that I believe that, and I'm not a parent, and every parent and or teacher I say this to looks at me like I'm fucking crazy. But the notion that you send kids through 12 grades of school on this random schedule where they get 3 or 4 months off over the summer and then send them out into the world with these false living contexts.
They shouldn't be going into the world from there. That's the whole premise.
First of all, no, they no.
High school isn't preparing them for the world. It's not supposed to.
But neither is
like-
college.
No, I know, and that's the whole fucked up thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if we start with the education of like year-round education and like more normalizing schedules so that they are better prepared for whatever comes
like
next.
in that sense, yeah.
You know, then they understand, oh, I don't just, man, they're not looking till like May, June, July where they can fucking sleep all or game 24/7, right? Like, I think you're setting up, we're just keep setting people up for these
also-
giant vacations that
I'm all
You
for
only have-
forced military service, and then you get free college.
What
Look
Having
at the
s-
countries that do that, and they have great education.
having school mimic life, like
Yeah.
school, high school, and grade school prepares you to be a financially illiterate worker who's used to
You're a
being
grunt.
in a room in a box for 8 hours a day when no one tells you, hey, you can go drive around to properties and do that with your day, or you can go film things for your day. So that's how it's designed. I mean,
it's just a,
Part of the fucking machine. It's
Mhm.
another cog.
yeah.
But that's up to us as parents to better our children and make sure that they're not in the cog. They're working the cog of some sorts, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
don't just let your kids go through the system and work with them. Make sure when they're coming home you're actually giving them an education that they should have had during the day.
Well, 'cause
and like
everyone, there's a good amount of people that send kids to school and think that that's their job.
yeah,
right?
no.
Like
I know my teacher's failing my kids sometimes, right? Like, and it happens. And I have those conversations with my kids' teachers, like, hey, Logan was a dick today. I'm sorry. You're like, I know he interrupted your class. Like, how's it going? Like, how are you doing? Like, because shit, you know how hard that job is?
Well,
I don't want it.
I'm
I'm not mentally built
my
for it.
aunt this morning, right before I walked in, I was talking to her, and she's like, because I was complaining about insurance issues with the marketplace, and she's like, you could always go back to being a teacher. You're
wait, you were a
qualified."
teacher?
Well, I I was a teacher in Spain, and I was a sub and a long-term sub here. Both my parents are high school teachers, and the system's totally fucked. But it's so hard for them right now, even compared to 15 years ago, because they're just fighting administration, they're fighting funding, they're fighting all these things that even that insurance and retirement and all that, and it's a very low pay.
It's a low rewarding, high
but
Stress.
demand job.
I love it. Like I think I'm gonna end up a teacher again one day when I'm way older, when I've made all my money. But because I love it and I'm good at it.
But there you
Right.
go. That's you just identified your passion for something. And so your passion for something, so my passion for real estate is forced me to ensure that I never go back to a 9 to 5.
Yeah, we
So-
were talking about COVID and starting businesses. Before working at Harper Belmont, because I studied film. But I moved back from Spain during COVID, and
So, Hill, you planning on having kids?
Do I plan on having kids? I don't know. Probably. I would like to be a dad. I think I'd be a good one.
There was a meme I saw, and it was a little kid, and it was like 9 years old, and he was come up and was like, "Oh, I want a motorcycle." And they're like, "Oh, you're too young. It's dangerous. You can't do that." And there was another one. It was a 9-year-old or whatever running up to the mom, and it's like, "Mom, I'm actually a girl." And then mom just stays quiet because she don't know how to answer. Like, you should fucking answer the same fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, you're too
Too
young.
young to make that
Yeah.
decision. Yeah.
But yeah, out of COVID, I saw that I love teaching. I'm good at it, and I built a business, private tutoring kids, and was making good money, like 50 an hour, 70 an hour, with these kids. So I agree. You can, even with something with teaching, that you really don't have much opportunity unless you want to have a private school, which I'm totally not. That's not. But there's still opportunities. So. And like crochet, I learned crochet. I loved it. Started
Like-
selling those
Sweaters?
hats and gloves and leg warmers and stuff. Sweater I haven't tackled yet. That's tough. But and also I love cooking. That's something I wanted to make a life out of. That, and I started selling my breads and everything like that. So.
I knew none of this.
Yeah, we learn something new about Sohail every day.
It's a very diverse.
Bread maker.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's the whole jack of all trades, master of none. I've always struggled with that, and I've come to terms with you don't have to necessarily be the master. Everyone can individually shape their life, and I enjoy all those things, and I do all those things.
I'm going to bring us back to real estate with this segment because I was having a discussion. I did a closing at our office yesterday, and I was talking to my buddy. We're walking out of the building together, and he mentioned that he's just been bored with real estate. Like he's just
You get to his level.
the point being is that he just got, it's very complacent. Everything's automated now. Like he's bored, right? And he was looking for something new in obviously still in real estate, but like what's new, right? And I said to him, I was like, that's a problem though, because for us in real estate, we gain so much freedom that we automatically start thinking about, oh, what else can I do? Let me go do Airbnb. Let me go do like car renting, right? Let me go do all these
You have
other
me
things.
looking at pad split.
That was just
I'm just saying. Like,
no, pad split's a big thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They just, I think it was yesterday or today's news, Dallas Council, so City of Dallas, put in measures to restrict Airbnbs in single-family residential neighborhoods.
They're also doing away with lawnmowers. Dallas County put a restriction on gas and lawnmowers.
Well, that's just because they like giant bush.
No, but seriously,
They're those weirdos.
The liberals of Dallas County are saying no, we're gonna stop polluting the air
That's
with
so
with the fucking lawnmowers, right? We're gonna make everybody go out and get these lawnmowers, right? The electric lawnmowers.
Yeah, no, I get it.
How many hardworking landscapers are gonna have to go out and buy all new
you know-
equipment?
Is there a subsidy or a?
It's just ridiculous.
Do you
I don't
know?
fucking
Do
know.
you know how many? Do you know?
And even if there is a subsidy, that's coming out of our back pocket. It's
Yeah,
money
it's
that
our
does
cost.
not need
I'm
to be
fine with
spent. It's fucking
The
ridiculous.
It's just
so
the
are they
future.
going to go? Because are they going to say that all the highways that they use the lawnmowers on, like,
I have no idea.
right? Like, I mean, think about how deep that goes.
It's ridiculous.
It's absurd. It should be somebody's choice if they can financially afford A or B, right? You know, like Bill uses
Yeah. People love them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking them.
No,
I
it's
love
just
all like the blowers and all that. They're awesome, but you can't put that into law.
Yeah.
It's
absurd.
and it's
Yeah.
specifically if it's going to affect small business owners. So
Yeah, it's I think we've officially lost the center.
oh yeah,
And that's insanely sad. And I don't know when it's coming back. But I think again it gets back to like us on a very, very base level every single day, having conversations amongst ourselves with our kids, right? Like just unplugging and pulling things back and saying, these are our values. This is what we stand for, whatever it is. We don't force that on other people. You know what I mean? Like, I think we just have to go back to the basics of, hey, I was raised this way. We're going to raise the boys that way, right? Like, you're going to raise your kids this way. You're right. And then I started doing this thing specifically with your kids. Whenever I take them out with mom, they just like run to the doors.
Mhm.
Like they race to the doors. Well, now I got them. Now I got them trying to teach them how to be a gentleman and hold the door. And so, and then
it's hysterical when the door's too heavy.
yeah. And then, but then I'm like, say, they just said, you're welcome. They just said, thank you. You're supposed to say you're welcome. And then they just yell it, you know? And so I'm like, this is, hold the door for grandma. Like I'm just,
Manners.
yeah, just trying to, I feel like, you know how many people like I hold the door for and then,
Yo, I had somebody not hold the door for my kids, right? Like I was holding the door and then he opened the next door and my kids came running out and he literally pushed past through my kids. And I was like, you serious? Like,
I got on my elevator.
okay.
I got on my elevator this morning and I was the first one. And then it stopped and somebody got on and I was like, good morning. Fucker, like just ignored me, And I was like, so I got off at my floor before he got off at the first floor and was like, fuck you.
I always try to ruin people's day. Send them off on the right way.
It's just like, it's a level of rudeness that we don't need. Did you ever watch is it Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever watch?
No.
Dude, it's
So good.
Isn't that the one with the guy has a weird penis in one of the episodes?
No, I don't think. No.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, there's one where two guys hook up in the metaverse.
but it's really interesting because there's a lot of like reality in it. It's weird.
Yeah, it was the VR episode that I'm thinking of.
I don't remember any weird penis.
I don't think there's a weird penis.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two homies getting it on the metaverse is very funny. That's one of the worst episodes. But I wish they need to drop a new season.
It would be great.
It's been so long.
I think my favorite, or the most relevant episode. It might be the same episode. Is the one where she can only get a certain level of car. Is it the social?
Yes, the social.
Is that the
credit
social
kinda
credit
one that was
episode?
called,
Yeah.
that episode is so relevant.
Yes. You. Anyway. Tangent. There's your Dallas lawnmower. Oh, we're back. Oh no, we're not going down the lawnmower road. We're going down.
No, you couldn't
No,
find
yeah, I was just looking at. I wanted to see if they were giving subsidies or whatever. We're done with the lawnmower thing. But.
I think we can wrap this week up though.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting.
I think it's gonna.
I think it's going to be an interesting end of the year into the new year. Again, cycling back to real estate.
We started getting leads this past week, but I mean, I think it's going to stay pretty stagnant until January.
Um,
But that's typical.
I think our volume is going to increase because we perform. Where I was going is I don't think many people know this. I don't think anyone's talking about it. So I'm going to say it. I think we've lost in 3 months. You could say we've lost about a 10%.
Value?
Yeah, I don't want to say that the values took a 10% hit, but
The appreciation?
we have lost 10% of our equity in real estate in the last 3 months. So that's a big number in a 3-month swing. Somebody asked me last night if I think that that's going to continue. I don't see it being 10%, like to where all of a sudden in like 6 months we lose 40 or 50% or whatever. Like I don't see that. Because what I am witnessing is the 10% that we lost is only in certain brackets and it's stopped. Right? So the 10% that hickey that we took, it's like once we get them priced to where that 10% hickey is, they're moving. So I think overall DFW lost 10%. I know other parts there are some other statistics out there for other cities that have lost 30. Again, I don't think that that's going to continue forward. So it'll be really interesting to see where we pick up in 2023. It'll be really interesting here in the next couple weeks to see if they up the Fed rate one more time.
They're gonna. Unemployment's not where they want it. So, and he's literally said he's going to raise rates until he sees unemployment like where he wants it.
Well, all I know is that he's gonna have to turn the printing machine back on because there was another $36 billion written yesterday for Ukraine. So
yeah, Democrats were getting poor, so they needed more funding.
Yeah,
so
they need more funding.
Got to send it to Ukraine to get washed and sent right back to them. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This is a fact. Look at FTX.
Yeah, but I think
so. He'll want to press the button, and he's like, "No, I'm good."
I think
I'm not gonna say yup, but
yeah.
I think as long as you keep evaluating. So one of the things that we did this week, again, trying to pull this shit back to real estate.
Yeah.
One of the things we did this week was we had a meeting, acquisitions team meeting, and we were like, all right, we're going to, I had already said we went from 75 to 70, and I yelled at everybody, right? And then we're kind of like, all right, we're going to start doing 60, 65 again and start analyzing deals on a really tight basis because our holding costs and things are just astronomical right now.
Yep.
So we're going to keep making those changes, and then we'll reassess, in the middle of January and see if those deals that we put in the pipeline over that, 4 to 6 weeks changes the outlook for February. And, just so instead of adjusting annually, we're adjusting on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis because
you have to. The
you have
market's
to right
changing
now.
that drastically.
Yeah.
So
that's all I got for this week. You missed a really good mixer last night.
Man, I had such a good steak though. It was so well worth it.
Ribeye?
Yeah, it was a 45-day dry age ribeye from
you had
Double
the one
Eagle.
I had.
Yeah, from Double Eagle.
It's amazing.
So.
But yeah, you mixed a really good mixer last night. The topic, everyone was talking about the same shit, asking
where it's going.
Everyone thinks the bottom's falling out. Everyone, there was, I don't know his name, but Brandon was talking to him, and he was like a younger new kid, was like never done a deal, and I felt bad because he was so enthusiastic. And he walked into the wrong room because everyone's like, "Oh man, my fucking listing!" Like, and just
Everybody's sitting there chain
yeah,
smoking
yeah,
cigarettes,
like
you know,
it was
telling war
seriously
stories from Nam.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was brutal. But you know, it wasn't that everyone was being negative. Everyone's just witnessing some things that reminds them of crashes and things, and so. But yeah, you missed the good mixer. It was really good. Hopefully we get one out we get one set up for January, because I think it's important to bring everybody back right after the holidays.
January 6th. Let's go.
That's I
It's
got it.
not, but
Yo,
Yeah, that'd be fucking amazing.
Ryan,
what
what
day of the week
what
is
day of the week
January
is January
6th?
6th? Pull it up.
Tuesday, or is that December?
No.
Friday.
Oh, it's a Friday.
Fuck yeah. No, that's December.
No.
Oh.
Over here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So January 6th.
That's amazing.
All right, so I'm going to announce it right now. January 6th, 2023, at the Drawing Board in Richardson. Come on out. We're going to do a RE mixer.
Nope.
Uh,
Yeah, here, drawing board. Yeah, mixer. I was trying to. Isn't this should be a meetup? No,
no, it's mixer.
it's a quarterly.
No, it's mixer.
Oh,
We don't have time to throw an insurrection on the 6th. We only have time to throw a mixer.
all right.
So, January 6th, 2023. I know it sounds like it's so far off in the distance. It's literally like 3 or 4 weeks away. The Drawing Board, Richardson. We're going to do,
The RE insurrection mixer.
and we're going to talk
Is it
about
themed? Like, can you dress up as those?
everyone should be wearing red MAGA hats.
I'm gonna dress up like an FBI informant.
You could pretend to be an FBI informant if you'd like.
One of the Proud Boy FBI guys.
Can we get these?
I encourage everyone to dress however they
Want.
want, and I welcome all people to discuss anything they want. Hopefully, it's real estate related because it's a new year and there's a lot of new deals to do, and there's not necessarily new business models, but there's old techniques that you can apply going into 2023. So, yeah, it's good. Well, that's it. January 6th, 2023. It's a Friday night. I don't want to hear about it. Skip happy hour. Come to our happy hour. $25 is cheaper than wherever you pay for your
Open
overpriced
bar, free
bullshit
food.
drinks and fucking craft cocktails.
Come on out.
Come on out now.
We're gonna have open food.
Open food, open knowledge.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm Tony.
I'm Nick.
We're the Sicilian Brothers, and this has been our maybe last episode
Yeah, 2022.
of 2022. We'll see if we can squeeze one more in. That's what she said. But outside of that, like, subscribe, share, comment. I think we're going to start reading comments on screen a lot more.
Yeah, comment if you want to be talked about.
Yeah, definitely. And if you even want us to call you live,
Oh, we have that set up actually. I have the
give us
Bluetooth.
your phone number, like DM. I mean, you could easily slide into our DMs. You could easily just leave it on the comment section, but hit the team up, and we will love
To interact.
and have a phone call.
Yeah,
So-
we'll talk.
See you guys next year.
Peace.